Good day, ma'am. I am Ma.Theresa BEc English 3C. So, the literature that I had chosen is the story of Cinderella by Charles Perrault. Before everything, I'll give you the short summary of the story first. So, Cinderella is a classic fairy tale about a young woman living in unfortunate circumstances, which are suddenly changed to remarkable fortune. Cinderella lives with her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters, who treated her like a servant in her own home. Despite the harsh treatment, she remains gentle and kind. One day, the king invites all the young ladies in the land to a royal ball, hoping that his son, the prince, will find a wife. Cinderella wishes to go, but her stepmother forbids it and instead leaves her behind. However, Cinderella's fairy godmother appears magically, dresses her in a beautiful clothes, and sends her off to the ball in a pumpkin carriage. But she warns Cinderella that the magic will end at midnight. At the ball, the prince is enchanted by Cinderella's beauty and they dance the night away. But as the clock strikes midnight, Cinderella rushes out, leaving behind a glass slipper. The prince, determined to find her, orders that every maiden in the kingdom try on the slipper. The slipper is tried by all women, including Cinderella's stepsisters, but it fits none. Finally, when Cinderella tries it on, it fits perfectly. The prince recognizes her from the ball. They marry and live happily ever after. In that, I find out that the story can be examined through the lens of Marxism and feminism criticism. So, for the Marxism criticism, the story of Cinderella is one of the classical fairy tale known by many of us. The story is written by a known author, Charles Perrault. The story Cinderella can be analyzed through the lens of Marxism. Marxism focuses on the struggle between the different social classes. The higher social class, or what so-called bourgeoisie, and the lower social class, which is the proletariat, in the society. In the story Cinderella, we can see a clear divide between the rich and the poor, represented by the main character Cinderella and her step family. Cinderella, who comes from a poor background, is forced to work for her rich stepmother and stepsisters. This mirrors the real world situation where the rich people often take advantage of the poor. Cinderella's life is full of hardships, a common trait of the working class in the Marxism theory. The power dynamics in the story also reflect Marxist ideas. Cinderella's step family, who are said to be rich, have power over her because of their wealth. They use Cinderella's hard work for their growth and benefits. As a classic example of how the rich can control and exploits the poor. The story also criticizes the way the society is structured. Cinderella's only way out of her difficult life is through marriage to a prince, in which marrying to someone who is rich or came from an aristocratic family can make you rich can make you successful in your life. It is seen as a critique of a society where it's hard for people to improve their lives through their own efforts and hard works. In conclusion, the story of Cinderella can be considered as a mirror of the class struggle, especially the lower class, and it also reflects the power dynamics that exist in society. Through the lens of Marxism, we can view how the story criticizes the unfairness of a society where the rich take advantage of the poor people, where upward mobility is often dependent on factors outside of an individual's control. This interpretation of the story gives us a deeper understanding of the story and its relevance towards the real world issues. On the other hand, for the feminism criticism, the story of Cinderella, a beloved and known fairy tale, can be also examined through the lens of feminism. Feminism focuses on the representation and treatment of women in the society we lived in. In Cinderella, we can see a clear portrayal of traditional gender rules and expectations towards women in the society. Cinderella, the protagonist of the story, depicted as a very submissive and a very obedient character in the story, who is mistreated and took advantage by her stepmother and stepsisters. She is expected to do all the household chores. Moreover, it reflects the traditional gender rules and expectations of women as a housemakers. This mirrors the real-world scenarios where women are often unexpected doings and rules in the society they live. The story also presents the idea that Cinderella needs to be rescued by a prince for her to get out of the difficult situation, reinforcing the stereotype that women are dependent and inferior on men for their happiness, needs, and success in life. This can be seen as a critique of societal expectation that women need to be saved or protected by men. Moreover, Cinderella's transformation from being a poor girl to a princess also emphasizes the significance of beauty in a woman's life. This can be seen as critique of the societal pressure on women to conform to beauty standards. Therefore, physical appearance of women really matters, especially to the eyes of the society. And also, it will help a woman to reach her desire and to be successful. In conclusion, the story of Cinderella can be considered as a mirror of traditional gender rules and expectations that already exist in the society. Through the lens of feminism, we can view how critics the societal expectation and pressures that is faced by women in the past up until the present state. This interpretation provides a deeper understanding of the idea being shown in the story and its relevance to the real world issues that women dealing with in this generation.